Welcome back to the UK Crypto Podcast. I'm Paula, and as always, I'm joined by Mattie. Most people enter crypto dreaming about financial freedom. They see stories of people making millions and imagine a future where they never have to work again. But what if there was another way? What if instead of trying to hit the 100x coin, you could build a crypto portfolio that actually generates income month after month? Today, we're exploring whether it's genuinely possible to retire using crypto income, what methods exist, what the risks are, and how much capital you might realistically need. Before we look at how crypto can generate income, let's start with the big question everyone wants answered. What does retirement actually mean?
The sponsor of today's video is Mexi. Mexi is a crypto exchange that we personally use. Mexi is well known for its low fee structure and also the airdrops for users that are trading. There's also a fantastic collaboration that's happening right now that if you have a Mexi account and you go and do our TradeBot Pro course, then you can start trading on these bots completely for free and you control them for 14 days. There's a few things you've got to do to put together, but if you head over there to cryptowolfpack.co.uk and go and click on the TradeBot Pro course, there's going to be a special link for Mexi. Once you've done that, you'll complete the course and you'll see that you're going to be able to get all of this completely for free. It's a collaboration that we're really happy with, we're really proud of, and if you are interested, head over to cryptowolfpack.co.uk. Well, I suppose most people would think that retirement means just no longer working in your later years. I think that's the understanding that most people will have. When people talk about retirement, I think they talk about not working, right?
Yeah. I think that's the dream, isn't it? Like we work all of our adult lives, and as we get older, we probably get more tired, more don't want to be in that space. And then the dream is that you have an income that's going to support you to be able to go and do things that you perhaps enjoy a bit more.
Yeah, I think also people will probably be thinking that it's having enough money so that work is optional. Because I think there is an element of need enough money to not work, but you'll tend to find that the more money people have, quite often the more driven they'll get.
Yeah.
So I think it's having that option, isn't it?
Yeah.
Rather than saying I have to go to work. I'm going to work because I want to go and do something and achieve something. And I believe they're two very different things.
Yeah, exactly. And I think a lot of people actually will probably get to retirement and still need something to make them feel value and have an identity and all those things that having a job and having a career gives you. And a lot of people turn to hobbies and things like that. But I think in order to have the dream retirement, you've got to be able to pay for the things that you want to do. Very many people don't want to just sit in their house, not having enough money to do those things.
They'll get bored. If they've got enough just to survive, then they're going to get bored, aren't they?
Yeah.
So I suppose the big question is how much money are people going to need? And there's no answer for this because different people's lifestyles will be different. And you'll quite tend to find some people when they're retired, they'll have to step their lifestyle down to fit their budget for their retirement.
Yeah.
But I suppose in this conversation, we're probably talking over the other end, aren't we? Where people are thinking, can I make enough money in crypto to not work again and live in a really good way as well?
Yeah, exactly. Because nobody desires the step down of lifestyle, do they? That's not the aspirational kind of dream.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people actually don't prepare themselves enough for retirement. We have quite a good welfare system in the UK where people get a pension. But I think there's a lot of people, and certainly I was in this camp when I was younger. I wasn't even thinking about retiring. It wasn't even something that entered my head. So do people make enough plans early on in their lives to really support that income? Because I think sometimes people don't realise how much money you actually need to be able to create an income from
and
that.
I think everybody needs to do their own maths on that. And once they've done their own maths and they know how much money they think they need per month, per year, per quarter, however you work your finances, I think then you need to start looking about where can that money come from?
Exactly.
Because is it going to come from one massive lump on one day? Very rare. Somebody will have that happen, I think.
Yeah.
Or is it a case of that residual money coming in, drip feeding through your entire retirement?
Yeah.
And there are lots of different routes that can happen.
Yeah, because also you've got to factor in things like inflation, because if you retired at 60 and the average person doesn't pass away until in their 80s, you've potentially got over 20 years worth of income. If your income as a round number example, was £2,000 a month, would £2,000 a month over 20 years, if it didn't increase in value, still be enough money? So there are a lot of things to consider. I don't think it's an easy answer here.
Which is why leaving all your cash in fiat is not a good idea.
Well, exactly.
It's not a good idea because your money will be less powerful year on year on year on year. We know that. That's the way our financial system is built.
Yeah.
And I saw something recently where somebody was talking about hedging their bets for having money in different fiat currencies.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. They all devalue over time. It's just the way our financial systems are built. So there are other things that you can do if you, for instance, staking. Okay, so staking is an important one. I think it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. I mean, at the moment, I'm getting offered nearly 11% for staking USDC. Which is massive. Now, compare that to the bank. What are you getting at the bank? I don't even know. Well, less than 0.2% or something like that, which is, it's night and day.
Yeah.
So if you've got a sizable chunk of money and you're staking that in a USDC stablecoin and getting your, let's say you don't get it, but let's say you get 8 to 11%.
Yeah.
Massive difference.
Yeah. Huge
difference. And that could be the difference between somebody's money devaluing over time and not devaluing over time and actually making money.
Yeah, and I think
your money making money, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, the staking protocols are getting better because at the moment you can't stake everything, and it sometimes can feel a bit complex. And I guess that one of the easiest ways to stake your crypto and earn a return is through Tangent, the cold store wallet.
I believe so, yeah.
Because you don't physically send your crypto anywhere.
No, you don't lose ownership of it, which I think is huge because there are some... the problem you've got is with staking is this. It's also a clear route for fake staking sites to steal your crypto, right? So even me, I've looked at things in the past that looks really good. I've probably passed up some really good opportunities because I don't trust what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're going to do your staking through your own cold storage wallet and you don't lose ownership of it, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm talking about now. So I saw that on that USDC. I think I had another one. Which one was it now? It might have been Solana. I can't remember.
Yeah, I was going to say I've seen Solana.
I think they're offering 7.5%.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
It's a great return if we're looking at what you'd compare that to in a normal investment, because even if you were looking at ISAs and things like that, if you got an 11% return on that, then you'd be doing really well. So I think that's a really good return. And I mean, it fits into the conversations we've had previously on the podcast around why the central banks are worried about stablecoins, because they can't offer those kind of returns. And if people start taking their cash out of the bank and putting it into crypto stablecoins and getting a better return, then that could potentially cause them a problem. Will we see the same kind of levels of staking returns if regulation changes? I don't know. And that's something we're going to have to look at in the future.
Like a flattening out of it.
Yeah.
So at the moment, though, you'll find that there's a lot of newer people into crypto. I'd say people that have been in it for under a couple of years that don't hold a lot of stable coins.
Yeah.
And they'll be all in on a particular token. And I'm not talking about the meme coins. I'm talking about the big boys, whether it's Ethereum, a Solana, and an XRP, right? Yeah. Now, imagine the landscape if a safe, official way came along to stake your XRP. Now, I've seen fake XRP staking sites because I know there is no way to stake your XRP. However, I've seen some very believable looking adverts on social media, and it's definitely a scam, right? However, imagine a real one come out.
Yeah. And I think it will.
Imagine they said, okay, let's do it the ultra safe way. Imagine on your Tangent cold storage wallet, they said you can stake it via that. You'll never lose ownership of it. You can get it back instantly by pressing the button. Bosh. And we're going to give, even if it was a rubbish figure, even if they said, we'll give you 4%. Game changer for a lot of people.
And it's funny you say it's a rubbish return, because actually that's not.
That's awesome. It's awesome.
Not, yeah.
I'm just saying,
not even the
monster numbers. Not even the monster numbers. If they started offering people, okay, you know what? If they started offering people 2%, I think the XRP community would be all over it.
Absolutely,
I think it would be huge.
Absolutely, they would. Yeah, completely. Because that kind of changes the idea of you buy crypto and you hold it long term in the hope that at some point it appreciates and then you sell it, because that gives people potentially long-term ownership that they're going to keep their crypto and then they can still earn a return and a residual income. And I think that's a bit of a game changer, if I'm honest. there are a lot of people that are just buying coins in the hope that they're going to appreciate and they're going to hold them. So
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, not at all.
I've got some like that, to be fair.
If you had built your crypto portfolio up to a certain point, you might be reluctant to sell it because you don't want to cash out, because let's all face it, we're in crypto because we want to think about the long-term appreciation, and I think a lot of people would be devastated.
Hedge your bets. You can't just be all in on one token.
Yeah, that's true.
You need some cash.
Yeah.
You need some stable coins. You need some in that token.
Yeah.
You need some property. You need some ISA. You know what I mean? You need to, don't be so tunnel vision.
And also, I just wanted to kind of say talk about the thing that you just said, in that a lot of people don't have stable coins. I think the world is kind of a little bit divided, I think, in crypto. I think there are certain places in the world where people are only in stable coins.
Yeah.
And I think there's probably in the West more people that are buying crypto coins. So I think that we've got those two different elements at play. And the people that potentially are using crypto for stable coins as an alternative to their own fiat currency, they're getting a good return if they can hold their money in stable coins.
I move money around
it
in stable coins multiple times a week.
Yeah.
For different reasons.
I think everybody, as part of their portfolio, should have some cash. And whether that is physical cash, well, probably physical cash, but cash, savings, stable coins, you need those reserves, don't you? But could you realistically build enough income through staking your crypto?
You need a chunk. Let's get it straight.
Yeah.
You need a chunk.
Yeah.
So that is going to go down to how rich somebody is.
Yeah.
What's their wealth? Because if they are wealthy enough, then absolutely they could. Absolutely. They could be, because of how high the interest rate is.
Yeah. Because I guess this is no different from the pension funds, is it? Because you add an amount of money every month into your pension. Sometimes your company will add some into that, but really you're building a pot that they're going to pay you a yield from at the end of it. So it's kind of a similar...
Yeah, I agree.
A similar idea, but you just maybe, if we were thinking about this from earlier on, and instead of, or maybe as well as adding money to our pension.
Yeah, for sure. I suppose the next obvious one, considering we are the UK crypto podcast,
we are,
would be trading crypto.
Yeah.
Could you trade crypto at a level enough to not work? And this is going to go down to whether people are any good at it.
Exactly.
That's the truth. Like, can they be consistent enough long term to do one of two things? Consistent enough to give them an income on a weekly, monthly basis, or be so consistent at the beginning you build up a giant pot, which funds your retirement.
Yeah.
Those are the two options.
Yeah.
Or huge bubble at the beginning carries you through, or slow and steady wins the race, and every single month you can go, cool, I'm taking out my 5, 10, I don't know, whatever anybody needs, adjust that for your lifestyle, whatever it's going to be. Are they consistent enough? Are they regimented enough?
Yeah.
Can they keep their emotions in check? Does their head fall off because, oh my God, I've had a bad week? If that's them, I would suggest no.
Yeah. And the thing is not everybody is good at trading. People can have the best strategies and some people just don't, it just doesn't click with them. But I think this idea of retiring and then becoming a day trader, well, that's a job. That is a job.
Well,
you've got to show up every day in order to keep creating an income. So it's not like you can retire, put your feet up, go and do whatever you want. Because I think this false sense of the idea of day trading that you see on social media, where people will say, oh, I've done my 15 minutes of work and I've earned 10 grand and that's me done for the day. It's not the reality for the majority of traders.
I had a friend of mine, I'm not going to name them on here. I had a friend of mine that's been a friend of mine for 30 years.
Okay.
This week, say to me, you're so lucky not having to work. I was like, are you taking the piss? I said, you go to work for 7 hours a day and you think that I've got it easy.
Yeah.
You've got no idea how hard I have to graft to do what I do.
Yeah.
Like, I promise you, he had no idea, because in his eyes, I don't go to a factory. I don't work in a shop.
Yeah.
He doesn't see that I'm awake at 4, happened this morning. 4 a.m. till 6 a.m. this morning when I should have been in the land of Noddy and Big Ears having a
Noddy and Big Ears.
having a fantastic snooze. I was awake looking at my trades.
Yeah.
Looking at the settings on one of my automations. Looking at my multiple accounts. And that was going on for 2 hours. I only wanted to check my phone for a little while, but because I have to do it, I can't just go, oh, do you know what? I'm going to call in sick.
Yeah.
I can't go, oh, forget my boss. I'm not going to do much work today.
Yeah.
I have to do what I have to do.
Yeah.
And once I'd seen that I needed to put something right at 4 a.m., that lasted until 6 o'clock this morning.
Yeah.
Then I'll get up in the morning. Obviously we do the podcast and stuff, and obviously that's kind of like work in some respects.
Yeah.
But how many hours a day are you looking at some form of a chart, an exchange, some kind of crypto news, some kind of macro sentiment to trying to work out how many hours a day do you think you do? Honestly, be honest.
It's difficult because my day starts pretty much as soon as I get up in the morning.
Yeah.
I don't really stop until I go to bed.
How many hours do you spend looking at a screen to do with a chart? I'm going to force you into this, Paula, to look at a screen, looking at a chart, an exchange, crypto news, or searching for macro so you can try and work out what's going on with your trades.
10, 11 hours a day.
Okay. So my mate that's doing 7 hours in doing what he's doing thinks we're really lucky that we don't work.
Yeah,
doesn't understand.
it's crazy.
And this will be the thing about the reason I'm highlighting this is because this is the same when people say, I want to retire and become a day trader.
Yeah.
You're probably going to work harder as a day trader than you do now currently as a bus driver.
Yeah, exactly. Because also this idea of working from home, there is no off switch. So it blurs, the lines blur. So when you get up and you go to an office in a day, that's when your day starts and you pretty much finish. I know some people work at home afterwards, but you pretty much finish when you leave. Whereas when you work from home, the lines blur. You might go, oh, I'm going to go and cook the dinner for an hour, but then you get back on and do what you're doing. And I don't think that in some of my jobs I've worked anywhere near as hard as what I'm doing.
I'm trying to make it clear. I'm not saying this, oh, poor me, I have to work so hard. I love what I do.
Yeah.
I feel so lucky that I do what I do. I'm really glad that I do what I do and I'm not working a traditional 9 to 5 job. So I'm not complaining. I'm just saying the average person has absolutely no idea what it intends.
Yeah, how consuming it is.
Yeah, there's no go. Okay, if you're in the middle of a particular type of trade, especially if it's higher leverage, there's no going, oh, well, it's lunchtime.
Yeah.
Fuck your lunch.
Yeah.
Sometimes I can't even go for a piss because I can't walk away from the screen because of what's going on. Do you remember what happened to you?
Yes.
Talking about going for a piss.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I don't think you ever got over that.
Well, we were in Spain, in Marbella last summer, and we had gone out and we'd gone out for dinner and I'd got this trade on. And
it was a big one, wasn't it?
It was a big trade. And we'd gone to this place with the kids because they wanted whatever it was.
Chinese, wasn't it?
No, it was, I think it was churros and hot chocolate. Do you know the chocolate pots? So anyway, we'd gone there and I could see that the trader was looking a little bit dodgy and I just thought, okay, well, I'm just going to keep an eye on it. Then I needed to go to the loo and I got in the queue for the toilet and there was no signal on my phone. So I thought, well, I've got to go to the loo. So
because you don't want to wet yourself.
Well, I don't want to wet myself. No.
Churros and we doesn't go together.
Exactly. And by the time I'd waited in the queue, gone to the toilet, come back out, got a signal, checked my trade, it had completely liquidated, and I was absolutely gutted.
But this is what I'm trying to say.
Do you know the thing that
when you hear people saying, "Well, it's my lunchtime,"
I know. Yeah.
Come on, man.
Well, I actually hate late night trading. I hate it because sometimes I purposely don't look at the charts in the evening because I know that if I put a trade on and then it's not one that I can close within the next hour or 2 hours or whatever, I hate going to bed on these trades.
I don't mind if it's low leverage.
Yeah.
If it's under 5x.
But then I feel like I've got to stay up and watch the charts. And there is nothing that annoys me more when I'm tired than because it's tiring, isn't it? I know people might say, oh, you're just looking at the screens, but sometimes I feel like it's a bit hypnotic looking at the charts.
Yeah. I tell you what, and this is a sweeping statement, so it's not everybody, but I think probably the people that would be best suited to making a transition to day trading if they had a knack to be able to trade will be people that are self-employed.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why I say that. because a self-employed person that works for themselves understands that when you've got to do your job, you've got to do your job.
Yeah, that discipline.
Because when you're your own boss, and it could be anything, you could be, I don't know, anything from just anything. As long as you're fully self-employed and you manage everything yourself, because you can't just go, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
You can't just go, you have to do it.
Yeah.
And I think those people are probably more likely. If you come from working, say, at local authority or government, where it's heavy reliant on work-life balance, and you're definitely going to get your lunchtime, and if you don't, then your boss is in trouble.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's a completely different mindset in an environment.
Yeah.
And I think for some of them people, it would become a massive shock and they might burn themselves out.
Yeah, well, yeah, because it is consuming and it is a complete mindset change. I mean, we've worked for ourselves for a really long time, but you have to be disciplined, and it can be difficult some days, because some days you get up and you're not feeling it.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
It's no different from the fact that if you had a job where you were employed, if you weren't feeling it, you'd still have to get up and you'd have to go in, and you've got to continue that kind of mindset.
But you know, I hope I'm not oversharing on here, but
you always overshare.
Yeah, but you know what? If I'm not feeling it, what do? I stay in bed and do it.
Yeah,
like I still do it.
Yeah.
I still do it. I don't get up.
Yeah.
I might be having a shower. Like if I'm not feeling very well and I can't be bothered and all the rest of it, and I've just got no motivation, I'll still do what I need to do with my trades. I just do it in my bed on my phone.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong. For some people, they'll be like, I wish I could do my job in my bed on my phone when I can't be bothered to get up. Do you know what I mean? So I get it. There's pluses and minuses, but I just don't realise. I don't think most people that are wishing to be day traders would understand that.
Yeah. And also I think the element is that everybody knows when you're self-employed, if you don't do the work, you don't get paid. But until you're in that situation, you don't really feel that.
I think people do, because obviously I've worked for myself the majority of my life, and the amount of people that would be like, oh, do you know what? I always wanted to do X, Y, Z, but I was never brave enough to leave my job.
Yeah.
So I think people do. I think people do understand that it's once on them, they have that. Oh, I'm not sure.
I don't know. I think this idea that you can just do what you want when you want.
That's bollocks.
It is, but I think that's what people perceive it to be.
I've got more freedom than most people. Oh, so if I suddenly say I want to go and get on a plane and go somewhere because I fancy it, I can work there.
Yeah.
Right? So apart from the time when I'm getting on the plane, and we're not going to talk about my trades liquidating on a plane, right? Because that wasn't a happy story either. But yeah, apart from the flight, I mean, next time we'll get better flights. So I got Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is important on the flight. No budget airlines.
No.
But yeah, as long as apart from the flight, then again, I'm good. I'm good for anywhere. As long as I've got a mobile phone in my hand, then I can pretty much do what I need to do.
Yeah.
I prefer a computer. I don't know if you realise it, but I way prefer the computer.
Yeah, and me.
I want my chart big. I did it all the rest of it. But I can operate on my phone.
Yeah.
Look at Phil. Phil from the Wolfpack, one of the moderators.
He does everything on his phone.
Well, just for people that don't know him, he's a stream host and he's a high leverage scalper. That's pretty much what he does, isn't it? He does everything off his phone, charting the whole shebang. So I'll look at a chart on my phone. He charts on his phone, all the line, and I'm just like, wow, that's intense. But I couldn't do that.
But it works for him.
But I could operate just to check my chart and have a look, see where I'm at, do what I need to do, move a stop loss, open a trade, close a trade, whatever I need to do. He does everything on his phone.
I don't even really like using the laptop. I think the screen's too small, so I definitely don't want to do it on my. Yeah,
you think the Mac's too small?
Yeah, I want to use the big computer.
You told me to buy a smaller Mac. I bought a smaller Mac because you wanted the other one was too big. Can't win.
But what I'm trying to say is, if I'm in that zone and that's my focus, I like to have as much information as I can. I want to see it all. I've probably got multiple screens open, and we digress. But the optician told me off this week because I'm spending too much time looking at screens.
Oh, you always lie to the optician about how much screen time you have.
Well, no, apparently he could tell it in my eyelids that my eyes are really dry, and it's because I'm looking at screens all the time.
Dry your eyes, mate.
I know, yeah, literally. Talking to the Streets, we're going to see them next month.
Oh yeah, Manchester.
Is it Manchester?
Yeah, we're in Manchester.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, should have got Birmingham.
You should have got Birmingham.
Should have got Birmingham.
Okay. The problem with trading is that it needs you to be physically involved in the system to make it work. You have to put on the trades, you have to close the trades, you have to watch the charts. But what about systems that might do that for you, Matty?
Well, yeah, like an automation.
Yeah, like an automation,
bot.
yeah.
So I think the year that we were in, AI, this is where we're at the moment. Everybody seems to be getting involved in AI to like help them with their accounts or help them with running their house. People are even using them in the most basic way to do with managing what shopping needs. Everybody's using AI for everything at the moment, whether it's video editing, but it's all the things that people are using it for. And there are now systems out there where you can use AI to trade for you. And as you know, inside the Crypto Wolfpack, we have got our own trading automation systems that our users inside the Wolfpack are using at no cost while they're being trialed out. And we're at the situation at the moment where we've got one of the ones called Fast High. It's now 17 days old and it is 38% up on autopilot.
Yeah.
So to put that into round numbers for people that aren't very good at maths, if you'd have put 10 grand in, you would currently be on $13,800 after 17 days of not touching it, not fiddling with it, not doing anything.
Yeah.
Which is phenomenal. And I think the automations as they are at the moment, good ones, are making some serious cash, and I think it's changing the landscape.
Completely. So I make actually quite a lot of content about AI because I find it so interesting. I think the impact of actually how algorithmic trading and machine trading is affecting the markets is quite underestimated. Yeah. I think the tech has crept in slowly. Mm-hmm. Retail traders haven't realised that these big institutions have been, I don't want to say manipulating the markets, but
they have. So they've been using, the big boys have been using the bots to keep the market raised for a long time.
I just don't like that word because I think it's an easy word to throw around when people are negative about their journey with the market. I think the market
maybe replace manipulation for control.
Yeah, they're definitely controlling the market, and they're using these algorithms, and they're using AI to look for liquidity pools and manipulate the price so that actually it fits in with maybe a wider agenda. I don't know. I don't perhaps want to fall down that rabbit hole, but retail traders have been behind. This tech has been in for a long time. Big institutions have invested huge amounts of money in AI in order to be able to create better profits. And retail investors have been behind that. I think that automations and bot trading is allowing the gap to close.
Completely agree.
Because if you are just a retail trader and you are just trying to read the news and you're just trying to look at the charts and you're just trying to read the macro, how are you going to have access to all that information? How are you going to process that information fast enough? How are you going to enter your trades at exactly the right point? Because very often we see retail enters late, retail enters emotionally, and automations remove all of that. And the more we talk about automation in the Wolfpack, the more I realise that I don't think there's anybody, whether you are in crypto or not in crypto, that shouldn't have an automation.
You always say this.
Everybody should have one.
Is this the first time you've said this on social media? Because you say this to me all the time.
Yeah.
And I think it's an important one. So what you've been saying to me is basically that like people that even are not into crypto should get a bot to go and trade for them. Yeah. Because you don't need to be into crypto. It does it for you.
Exactly. So it's been really interesting to be part of this journey that we've got an amazing community within the Crypto Wolfpack. And over that time, the evolution of people building things and want to be looking at kind of a community offering. What can we build together? How can we grow this? And then seeing automations being built and how that's gone from, you see a trade firing, you want to watch the chart, you want to see what's happening, and you literally follow the journey to getting to the point where I don't even look at the charts for these trades that are fired. I just sit back and let the automation do its thing. I don't physically have to get involved in it anymore or feel like I have to get involved in it. Yes, sometimes I'll go into the platform and check, see what things are doing. But I do that just to kind of see where it's all at, rather than, I've got this trade that's fired and I'm worried, is it going to hit that take profit? Is it going to hit the stop loss? And that's how it was feeling more at the beginning. But now these automations are so good, you don't have to do that. So why do you need to know anything about trading?
Yeah, I totally agree. And I'm actually making a video this weekend, long form for YouTube. And it's basically saying that this trading algorithm, trading bot bubble we're in is not going to last forever.
No.
It's not going to last forever.
No.
It's now or never.
Yeah.
Because at some point, the exchanges that are going to lose too much money.
Yeah.
And they're going to go, nope.
Yeah.
We're going to pull the rug on API trading.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
For those of the people that don't understand what I've just said. So when you get a bot to trade for you, you're connecting to the exchange via something called an API, which is basically a link from your bot to your trading account. And it'll say open trade, close trade, take partial profit, whatever it'll be.
Just fires messages between the two.
The two of them. And the exchanges are really happy for you to do that, okay? And the reason being is because most bots lose. Yeah. That's the truth, right? But if you've got a bot that wins, how long is it going to be, especially with the improvements in AI, until more of the bots win than lose?
Yeah.
And then the exchanges go, no. Now, what is very interesting is I've seen very recently that an exchange has whacked up their fees on API trading to combat that. So they're making more money on trading if you use a bot than not.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a new thing. I've never seen an exchange do that until 2 weeks, about 10 days ago.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the first signs we're already seeing of the exchanges going, ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. So what I'd say to people is if you are thinking about getting involved with a trading bot or AI trading and you don't know what to do, then we've got a solution for you. So myself and Paula have done a course. It's called TradeBot Pro. And the aim of it is very simple. It's to take somebody that knows absolutely nothing about trading bots. Within 30 minutes, you can have one set up on your exchange.
Well, you can set up your exchange.
Yeah, we can go through the lot. So you can go from nothing to 30 minutes later. If you are incredibly rubbish at technology, I'm talking about like my mate Nick, right? Who can barely use a mobile phone.
Yeah.
It's going to take him longer.
Yeah.
If you are the kind of person that you're okay with technology, you've already got an exchange, all the rest of it, under 30 minutes, you are going to go from knowing nothing about bots to having one live on your exchange.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a part of that, you're also going to be able to trial some bots for free for 14 days.
Yeah.
So that course is called TradeBot Pro. You can go and access that by going to cryptowolfpack.co.uk and go and click on the free course. Okay. Yeah. It's not suddenly going to get tricked halfway through. We're going to ask you for your credit card details. It is a totally free course.
Completely
All you got
free.
to do is put your name and your email address in to get access to it, and you're in. Bang, done.
Yeah.
Okay. Totally free, 30 minutes. And the responses we're getting back from that has been really, really good. And we've barely talked about it on social media yet. We've only really talked about it within our own community and they're going through it.
Yeah.
But we've already got people that are going through it, going through the system. They're trying bots. They're seeing they're going. And then what they're doing is they're looking at the bots that we've got are available to our community. So those of you who don't know, if you're a Crypto Wolfpack member, when we're building automations with the aim for us to sell them.
To go to market.
Anybody that's a Crypto Wolfpack member gets to use them for free.
Yeah.
Okay. So there at the moment, we've had people now this week that have gone from never having a bot. Within 30 minutes, they're then live with it, with trialing free bots. Then they're they're in the Crypto Wolfpack and saying, you know that one there that everybody's talking about, can I have a go? And we're going, yeah, no worries, have a month. And they're live right now. Yeah. So this morning before I come into here, and I was checking my phone. Well, actually, it was between 4 and 6 o'clock this morning, and I was checking my phone. And I'm not going to use his name actually, but yeah, he said this is fantastic.
Yeah.
And listen, it's not mega money, so I think he said I'm nearly $100 up, and I've only been doing it 3 days. Yeah. Like, do you know what I mean? So he's never going to retire. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But the point is that he's gone from nothing to something like that really quickly.
Yeah. And the reality is like any of your investments, if you're relying on a percentage return, the more that's in your pot, the bigger that margin of return comes
risk,
back.
Let's go the other way.
No, exactly.
The bigger the risk as well. So,
yeah.
But that's just why it's really important you get the right bots that have got margin control and they're looking after your risk and all the rest of it. Because there are some out there that would just go wild. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Bosh, no stop loss, bosh, 50x. Nah.
All on cross.
Yeah, on cross, yeah. It's my biggest nightmare, that is. The biggest nightmare. So I think that's where we're at with that. So if you are interested, go to cryptowolfpack.co.uk.
Yeah, because imagine you're in a situation where you want to retire, you're looking for residual incomes. Can you do some day trading? Well, of course you can. Yeah, but if you could have a portion of that in an automation that was just doing its thing in the background, well, that would be really good as well.
Doing a bit of everything.
Yeah, so absolutely.
I think for me, it'd be having an automation. Yeah. Keeping your finger on the pulse and doing a bit of trading yourself. having some money in cash, having some money in gold, having some money in an ISA. It's not all about doing one thing.
Yeah.
You don't take your entire wealth and whack it on a bot.
Yeah.
That's mental.
Yeah.
You don't take your entire wealth and leave it in cash under your bed.
Yeah.
That's mental.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I think it's about having a rounded approach to what you're going to do with your cash.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you've got yields and DeFi, you've got lending, liquidity pools. All of this kind of stuff is evolving in crypto, and it's not crypto is just necessarily buying a coin and holding it. We're having more and more access now to what we can do with the crypto. So I think that's going to be really interesting as the years go on.
Yeah, you're on about the DeFi and stuff. Right? Yeah. I mean, but also you've got people just doing that hold and hope.
Yeah.
They pick a horse. And they're going to go, that's my horse for life.
Yeah.
And what if it don't work?
Yeah.
What if it goes to zero?
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, a balanced approach for me is always better.
Yeah.
Have I got tokens that I definitely hope they do well because it'll make a huge impact in my life? Of course I have, but it's not going to be the be all and end all.
Yeah. And I just kind of think that at some point, are you really going to want to sell those coins? Because if they've appreciated over, I don't know, 10 years, and you can see where they went, well, what would 10 years' time do as well?
You wouldn't sell them all, would you? You sell a bit, don't you? You just slowly, strategically have a plan. That's
Absolutely. But crypto is evolving, and this is kind of what I was saying. Like, we've already got access to more crypto protocols and DeFi protocols than we had. What about this progression into tokenized assets?
Yeah.
Because that's the next step. BlackRock's talking about this at a big level.
I want to do more research on tokenized assets because I own no tokenized assets.
Yeah.
I've made loads of videos about tokenized assets. I've loads.
Yeah.
Loads. Mainly because it was such a big boom of information about it.
Yeah.
So there was a need for my audience to learn about it.
Yeah.
So I'm like delivering, not necessarily me teaching about tokenized assets, but I would deliver stories about this company now is allowing tokenized assets on this blockchain, that type of thing, right? And actually, I think for me personally, I think I want to have a little bit of a look. What is there out there that's tokenized that would get my juices flowing?
Yeah, I think you've got to be interested in what you're buying because you can literally tokenize anything.
I know, because you can like tokenize artwork, tokenize buildings, tokenize stocks.
Yeah.
I think that's probably more likely. I mean...
Did you know that there's a company that are tokenizing domain names?
What do you mean?
So you know like google.com?
Yeah.
Well, they've done an equivalent version with some big... because...
In case they ever get sold for silly money?
Yeah. It's wild. This tokenization could literally go anywhere.
If you were going to tokenize, I think if I was going to buy something that was tokenized, I want it to be a real thing.
Yeah, but not everybody
my
wants
whole
that.
life surrounded by internet money.
Yeah,
as some people would call it.
Yeah,
right. But I'd like it to be a real thing.
Yeah,
I'd have a tokenized asset of, I don't know, something that could be sold.
Well, there was
some kind of like. Something kind of like really something rare or a building or something like that. Do you know what I mean?
Well, there's
or a business. I'd have a tokenized of a business as well. I would do something like that.
Yeah.
As well.
There's a company in Dubai that are tokenizing diamonds.
That'd be right on my street.
Yeah, so,
I'd be well up for that. Or a collection, like a collection of diamonds, something like that. I'd be up for that.
Yeah, yeah. But it's endless. It's completely endless. And I think what the blockchain is doing is allowing people to have options that they never had before.
Completely.
And that's a real game changer for most people. So if you could create a little bit of revenue from doing this and a little bit of revenue from doing this, all of a sudden you've got a chance that either one of them is going to go to the moon and you can do really well, or if one didn't do so well, you're not relying on just that one thing.
Yeah, well, I'm going to talk about personal experience here, and I'm going to share this. There was once a time in my life that all my income came from one thing, and within a space of 48 hours, that income stream dried up, and I was worried. Mm-hmm. So I then looked at how I could spread that into different routes coming in through crypto and trade and all the rest of it, and now I've got income streams coming from different angles. So I'm no longer, under pressure if one thing goes wrong.
Yeah.
And I think people need to look at their crypto portfolio in the same way.
Yeah.
If you are literally buying Solana and going, I hope it goes to $10,000 or whatever, that, you know what I mean? You are very limited to its either success or failure.
And there's a lot of pressure attached to that.
A lot of pressure to it. But if you spread that risk over 5, 6, 7 different tokens, and you're doing day trading, and you've got a bot, and you've got some tokenized assets.
And you're staking.
Yeah. And you're doing bond, all these things. You're doing all these things. Then you're spreading that chance of a point of failure.
Yeah.
And what you're also doing is you're spreading your chance of success across multiple things.
Yeah.
Because in that situation I've just described, you only need one of them to go crazy and you're sorted.
Yeah, exactly.
But
yeah.
in the situation where you've only got your backing one horse, if that one goes wrong, you are screwed.
So it's interesting actually to kind of talk about the idea of you're screwed, because we're talking about specifically crypto in order to retire. There are risks attached with crypto.
For sure.
It's the riskiest
of all the
risk assets.
Yeah.
And I think we wouldn't be doing anybody any favours by perhaps not talking about some of those risks as well.
Well, yeah, you've nailed it there. Crypto is the riskiest of all the risk assets. So, first of all, if you are trading, as in day trading with leverage, then you are infinitely putting up your chance of failure.
Yeah.
Unless you are very good or you've got a very good bot.
Yeah. And I guess one of the things that, that just led me on to think about, if you're trading and your money's on an exchange and then there's a problem with exchanges, that's also a risk, isn't it? And we talked about Tangent earlier, talking about staking, but it's this idea that people buy crypto on these platforms and these exchanges, but then sometimes they don't remove them and put them into cold storage. Then that is a risk. If you're relying on that money because that's going to be your retirement plan, please don't leave it on an exchange, because there are a lot higher risks with your crypto leaving it on an exchange through hacking or freezing of exchanges or exchange collapses like we've seen in the past.
So I've seen a creator on TikTok this week saying to people, I don't know why the crypto bros tell you to move your crypto off the exchanges. The chance of an exchange collapsing is almost zero. In fact, you've got more chance of losing your keys. Now, it's clearly obvious to me that, first of all, he's a small creator. He's never had a video go viral where he's talking about people losing their money off exchanges. And he's never had thousands of people message him saying, that happened to me.
Yeah.
I have.
Yeah.
I had a video, did nearly 1 million views, and it created probably, I should imagine, maybe 1,500 messages where people telling me their horror stories.
Yeah.
It was insane.
Yeah.
It was insane. He's never experienced that. So he's coming from a point of, I'm not going to say ignorance, that's probably a bit unfair, but he's coming from a point of fluffy world.
Well, it's his limited knowledge, isn't it?
Because what he's thinking is, he's thinking about, the exchange, it's not about the exchange getting collapsed. Because if somebody has their data leaked onto the dark web, passwords leaked for their emails, then they're into their emails. Now they're requesting a ping off your exchange to get in.
Yeah.
Now they're in your exchange. Now they're transferring out of your exchange. That is how people lose their crypto.
Yeah.
Yes, the FTX collapses happen, but it was not about that. But I saw that guy, and I actually have chatted to him before privately. And when I see him personally, I'm going to pull him to one side and go, you are so off the line with that one.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to write it in the comments to look like I was having a dig.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say to him, brother, let me tell you some stories.
Yeah.
Because he's not a young person, but he's clearly wet behind the ears when it comes to this subject.
Yeah.
He's got no idea what he's talking about. I'm telling you now, I don't care who you are. If you have enough money on an exchange that if it went tomorrow, you'd be sad. That's the phrase I'm using. You'd be sad or beyond sad. Get it off.
Yeah.
If it's an amount on there that if it went, you'd go, nah, it is what it is. The risk
It was
happened.
a risk, yeah.
Then leave it on there.
Yeah.
If you would feel any kind of emotion other than fuck it was only a bit of money.
Yeah.
Get it off now.
Yeah.
Because it happens to too many people.
Yeah. And if this is your retirement plan, if this is you and this is what's going to set you up in that time of your life, don't risk it. It's not worth it.
Yeah, it's just not worth it.
It's not worth it.
It's just not worth it. Like,
No,
why would you take the risk?
Yeah, exactly.
But to be fair, in that person's defense, I do understand what he's saying about people losing their keys. Like that is an important one.
Yeah.
But there's solutions around that now.
Yeah.
The solution it's not 2017, mate.
Yeah.
The solutions now are to keep your keys safe.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
You go and get them in your bank.
Yeah.
If you've got enough money to worry about it, then you go and get it in a vault.
Yeah.
It'll cost you 300 quid a year.
Yeah.
You ain't losing them.
No, exactly.
They're in there.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? But listen, it is what it is. What do I know though?
I guess we've got to also talk about some other risks, things like smart contract hacks, regulation changes. That's definitely going to be something to consider in the future. I think when it comes to regulation, we can only work with what we know, and we make the best decisions as and when those regulations change. You've got potential yield reductions. You might assume that you're going to get this, and in the future it changes. But again, we can only work with what we know at the time and make the best plan. And the other thing that I think is quite prevalent, because this might be the situation that a lot of people feel that we're in at the moment, the market could crash and then your assets are potentially worth much less than they were. So that is always something to factor in. Crypto is a risk asset.
100%.
We can't put any guarantees on any of this.
Everything's a risk though, but crypto is just super risky.
Yeah. But would you trust crypto income enough that you could retire completely on it?
Yes.
I like that. With conviction.
Yeah.
With conviction.
Yeah.
Or
as long as crypto survives the test of time. But because we're so involved in crypto, we'd see it going Pete Tong way before the rest of retail.
That's true.
And we'd already be off ramping. We'd already be turning it into gold or cash or ICE or whatever it would be. Because let's face it, we're completely consumed more than the average retail. So you'd like to think that we'd be going, that's a problem, way in advance.
But do you trust it enough that you'd only be relying on it for your retirement?
Oh, no. No.
Yeah.
No, definitely not. I think you need other income streams. Unless you are lucky enough before retirement age that you have a token that goes crazy and you've gone, bank it.
Cashed out.
That's a different situation.
Yeah, exactly. So
what about you? Would you be brave enough to fully rely on crypto for your retirement, or would you want to spread it a bit?
No, so I'm not actually that risky in the things that I want to rely on. I also think, having been self-employed for a long time, I understand this idea of having lots of different things that need to happen and not relying on one thing. So I don't think I would, and I don't think I would be, if I was giving somebody my opinion about a plan moving forward, I don't think I would be saying that crypto is enough. But we don't know how this tech's going to change. And I have a sneaky suspicion that over the next 5 years, the world is not going to look the way that it does now. We've got potentially things like AGI coming in within the next 5 years. We've got potentially clarity coming in over the next, hopefully, few months. And these regulations are going to change. CBDCs are coming out. We've got all these pilots. We've got things like the institutional changes with the payment rails. I think when this crypto ship turns and there becomes mass adoption, it could change really quickly. So I'm not saying that might never happen and I might never rely on crypto, but at the moment I think no. But it could change. It could change.
Well, hopefully we're giving some people some food for thought about their own retirement.
Yeah.
If they're going to take one thing away from this, is this. I think sometimes you need to roll the dice. You need to be brave enough to put your toe in the water.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think if you are going, I just hold and I don't do anything else, and you're thinking about trying something else, then maybe a bit of staking on your Tangent wallet would be a good idea.
Yeah.
And maybe doing our TradeBot Pro course is free to do, and you're going to be set up within 30 minutes. And you can just try it with a little bit of money.
Exactly.
You don't have to go crazy. You don't have to go and put 50 grand in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You could try this with $100, $200, $300, $500, whatever you need to do, just to see what's going on, to see if you can give it a try. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Lovely. I've really enjoyed this one. So hopefully we'll see you all in the next one. And remember, follow us on all our socials. Full episodes are available on TikTok, YouTube, and over on Spotify. Appreciate all of you for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.